The following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Hi, I'm Steve for BoatTest.com, and today we're going to conduct a features inspection and full sea trial of one of the newest launches in Riviera's sport yacht collection, the 4800 SY. She's nestled between the 3600 and the 5400 and takes her design cues from the larger models, but with 2 staterooms instead of 3, and to our eye, the balance works quite well. Let's start with a look at her features. The teak platform has rails for when we're gathering here, and we do that because a galley is just ahead that includes dual electric grills and with coolers to both sides. LED lighting is just above for cooking after the sun goes down. Ahead is a tender garage that can hold up to a 2.7 meter rib hauled in with an electric winch and launched with rails that attach to the platform. We access the aft deck from stairs to port and starboard, and this is where the entertainment and gathering starts, and the area welcomes both. There's opposing seating to starboard and aft. The L-shaped seating wraps around a beautifully finished solid wood table on a high-low pedestal. The aft seat includes storage underneath. Across to port is a refreshment center with counter space, sink, refrigerator and ice maker. Trash is to the left side, and a stainless rail wraps around for safety. The deck is protected by side curtains and a fixed awning overhead that extends well aft of the hardtop. We move to the interior through a stainless steel framed sliding glass door. Headroom is 6 feet 5 inches. To port is the galley, centrally located between the 2 main deck gathering areas. It features Korean counters, and we'd like to see raised edges. Storage is above. A 2-burner cooktop is just below. And we're happy to see that Riviera didn't forget the exhaust fan and light. Under the counter is a convection microwave, and below that is a dishwasher and 2 refrigerated drawers. Another refrigerated drawer is just across with stemware storage above. Ahead is a trash receptacle under a hinged lid and a covered sink with a reversible lid serving as a cutting surface. Salon seating is to starboard, and a C-shaped sofa wraps around a solid wood pedestal table on a raised platform. Upholstery is leather. A TV and an electric lift is just ahead. Overhead is a large opening sunroof controlled by a switch at the helm, and we can open the aft window to really let the air flow through. Now let's take a look at the accommodations, accessed by a centrally mounted companionway. A second lounge area is just below with an L-shaped sofa to starboard. There's 6 feet 3 inches of headroom, and opposite is a bulkhead with a flat screen TV and storage. There's a lot of blank wall as well, and a full-length mirror or perhaps some artwork would be a nice addition. Regardless, this is a comfortable place to relax in a quiet atmosphere before turning in. Just ahead is the entrance to the master, and notice how the door opens flush to a recess in the bulkhead. Inside, we measured headroom at 6 feet 4 inches. The berth measured 6 feet 5 inches by 4 feet 7 inches, with 3 feet 6 inches dropping to 3 feet 3 inches over the berth itself. There's usual accommodation of a hanging locker and storage above the hull side window, all repeated to the opposite side. The TV is on the aft bulkhead, and there's private access to the ensuite head. Inside is a well-lit head with a mirrored cabinet above a vessel sink. A corner-mounted walk-in shower is to the left. The guest stateroom is located aft, and it's huge. It's rare we see a full-beam guest stateroom, but here it is, and it includes 3 berths. 2 separate berths, 27 inches wide and 14 inches apart, electrically slide together to form one. To the opposite side, there's a single berth under the hull side window. A TV is ahead, and there's a large storage cabinet under a mirrored bulkhead. Back out into the lounge, and another door leads to the day head. It's equally full-featured and includes a walk-in shower. At the aft bulkhead, there's a combination washer-dryer. Now let's take a look at some of her operational features before we get her on the water for our test. To the port side of the aft deck, there's a bulkhead hatch concealing the battery switches so we can power up the 4800 before even entering. Just behind is a cockpit joystick that provides full visibility of the stern and port side when backing into a slip. A canvas cover can be fitted to the small rail just ahead and will flip open when needed. Beefy chafing gear is mounted atop the cap rails in the aft corners and lead to vertically mounted cleats. Line storage is just behind the refreshment center. The helm is located to port, and visibility is through large windows with narrow mullions. Opening side windows add cross ventilation, otherwise 2 vents in the panel provide heat and air. Between are twin displays linked to the Volvo glass dash, allowing selection between radar, GPS, sonar, and engine displays. A full wood panel houses the quick access switches with the horn first to the left. The labels are all backlit. Below are the VHF, the windlass control, a smaller Garmin display, and the CZone touch panel. And this is interesting. The 2 larger displays are tied into the house batteries, while these 2 are wired to the engine start batteries, so if we lose one set, we can still navigate thanks to the independent connectivity. To the left, there's a conveniently located climate control, and Riviera is among the only ones providing this at the helm. Behind is the IPS joystick, the engine controls, wiper and washer controls, and the remote for the twin displays on the panel. Notice how the wiper controls are right where the hand naturally falls. I'd move it forward and put the engine control and joystick further back for a more natural feel. The helm and observer seats are extremely comfortable, fully adjustable, including recline, and to save room, armrests are to the sides but not the center. The engine room is accessed from a hatch in the cockpit. The compartment is cramped due to the tender garage, but there's still room for servicing the engines, and all pertinent components are easily accessible. The 17.5 kW generator is next to the steps. Filter and sea strainers are all in one location. There's a side tube for checking the fuel level at a glance. Jack shafts connect the engine to the pods, and they're serviced from additional deck hatches. The shore power cord reel is aft and also accessible through this aft hatch as well. Stairs to port and starboard lead us to the side decks. We measured 16-inch wide decks with rails coming up 28 inches. We'd like to see a grab rail along the side of the cabin. There's a double-wide chaise lounge with a pop-up cabana. Fully forward, the rail height increases to 35 inches. A windlass is mounted atop the deck. The starboard hatch leads to road access and to port, salt and freshwater connectivity, and the remote for the windlass. 10-inch cleats are to the sides. So now let's get around the water and take a look at the numbers. The Riviera 4800 SY has a length overall of 50 feet, a beam of 15 feet 1 inch, and a draft of 3 feet 10 inches. With an empty weight of 42,000 pounds, 58% fuel, and 3 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 45,384 pounds. With the twin 600 horsepower Volvo Penta IPS 800 engine spooled up to 3,030 RPM, we reached our top speed of 34 knots. Best cruise came in at 2,500 RPM and 25.3 knots. At that speed, the 42.5 gallon per hour fuel burn translated into 0.6 nautical miles per gallon and a range of 296.9 nautical miles, while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 555 gallon total fuel capacity. And of course, when it came time to return to the dock, the joystick functionality made short work of our tight confines. Just small pulses was all it took to have us maneuvering right into the slip, with little room to spare on either side. And we definitely appreciated the visibility afforded by the cockpit control station, standard on the 4800 SY. For an owner-operator as well as a cruising couple, the 4800 SY represents an upscale option that we found to be easy to operate and manage single-handedly. She's also comfortable to be aboard with spacious gathering areas. Couple all that with the fit and finish we've come to expect from the brand, and she makes a formidable choice in this highly competitive market. And that's our full test and inspection of the 4800 SY from Riviera. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.